Hey guys, it's AOT2, notoriously known as AOT2, but other guys call me Ayomide Tayo.
Oshay, how
I'm
you
here with
doing?
my podcast co-host,
Hi.
Ugochi. What's up?
Hi, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
obviously the
good.
podcast is 234 Essential Podcast. You've been listening. If you've not been listening, please listen to us right now. We are on all streaming platforms. And we're
Exactly.
in this beautiful studio by Clout. Shout out to them.
Amazing
This is state of
studio.
the art.
Do you get?
Like if Burna Boy recorded here, would have won the Grammys, obviously.
Ah!
But he didn't record here, so that's the
Shots
problem.
fired. But
That's
it's
the
actually
problem.
really beautiful.
So the good folks at Cloud said, you guys should just come and talk about obviously Cloud. No
Mm-hmm.
surprises there. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Definitely, obviously, going to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we start? Let me start like a secondary school teacher. Please, what is Cloud?
Um, wait, before I answer this question,
Yeah.
allow me. Let me
Yes.
see my own.
Okay.
You guys been so beautiful.
They can't take you anywhere. They can't just take you
You
anywhere.
guys literally don't
This
take
what
me
happens. This what happens to people that
anywhere.
live in ghettos like Lekki and Aja
I
ghetto.
agree. We're
Okay.
struggling,
Alright.
but it's really beautiful. Thank you, Carl, for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've come to understand like there are different meanings of clouds. There's the
Okay.
Google dictionary meaning,
Yeah.
and there's the
The-
slang meaning,
Yeah.
and then there's the street slang meaning.
So which one do you want to take?
Let's take street slang because
Okay.
last now streets win.
Me will run our streets.
You understand? We're on our
Aye.
streets, right? So cloud basically is bragging, you know, being all of that influence, bringing all of that true or not true vibe into whatever it is that you're doing or trying to project. Like, this is what, simply put, for lack of better words, but like yeah, just braggadociousness, like bringing all that.
Braggadociousness.
You get like bringing all that bragging right into whatever it is that
Into
you're
social
doing.
media.
Exactly, whatever content you're even putting out, regardless of social media. I think virtually all platforms now cuts across. Yeah, so that's personally. What do you think about Desire?
Clout is, I believe, to me, like when people indulge in over the top
Mm,
antics to gain influence or attention,
mm,
or yeah, influence or attention
mm,
on any social media platform. It could be on Instagram, it could be on Twitter, it could be
mm,
on Snapchat. Back in the day, during the days of traditional media, they
mm,
used to call it public stunts or
mm,
publicity stunts. But
mm.
now people don't do
Publicity
that anymore
stuff.
because that's old school. So everybody's doing it for the clout. He's doing
Hey,
it for the clout.
doing for the cloud.
Yeah.
At some point, that song had to come in
Shout
though.
out to Cardi B and
At Offset.
our former husband. Upset. It's not upset.
It's
Upset.
Offset.
He upset her. So she's not divorced and everything.
Of course. I like the way she's been mom about it low key, like not really putting anybody's face. But
Yeah,
that's by
obviously.
the way.
Yeah, and that's clout too.
That's clout, yeah. Like because we expect her
Yeah.
to actually be in our faces, but she's not.
For now.
For now.
For now.
And which is okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody expects the rain to fall like for sometimes,
So speaking of clout, do you
Mm.
think it's possible in this day and age for you to just be like an actor, an actress, a singer, a rapper, without you indulging in some form of clout? Especially now that social media is so powerful. You can have like 5 million followers on social media, 5 million followers on Instagram, Twitter. Do you think it's possible for you to do that?
First of all, 5 million is a lot of people.
That's the
Like,
nation.
if you're not buying these people, like if this
Say,
following
hey,
is in
let's not
bots,
expose the guilty parties involved.
it's
Please.
okay.
Let's
But
move on.
is among of it.
Yes.
It's there.
Yeah.
Right? If you're not buying that following, that's a huge sphere to be messing with. Like really huge. That's a lot of people to be actually dealing with.
For you
like,
to influence.
exactly. Like, can you do without it? I'll say largely no. Right?
Okay.
I'll say largely no from a marketing perspective, right? The idea of marketing is always to push to as many people as possible. Now, if you have all that number of people, just you, one person, can reach 5 million people,
Yeah. You need to do something with it.
you need to do something with it. And
Yeah.
of course, you didn't get those 5 million people by being basic. Don't insult my Instagram page because I know you're going to come for me.
No, you're not on
But-
Instagram, so let's keep it
Please, I am on Instagram.
Okay.
Please. I just don't have it, but
Okay.
I have it.
It has no clout.
It has no clouds,
Okay.
right? But I see that right now it goes hand in hand, right? You can't just be on social media anymore, even if you're pretentiously forming humility, right? That humility in itself is some sort of clout. Like
Yeah.
some people are out there looking for that humility, that feigned humility
Humility.
as well. Do you get? So yeah, Can it be without? No, I don't think. Largely, no. Because, man, you're not going to be keeping it 100 necessarily. Even when sometimes when you watch the journey of some people on social media who just break out and start with the numbers, they're doing the very most. Like, and it's important that they do the very most because they need the numbers.
Yeah, because you need to separate yourself or make people able to
Exactly.
identify with you from the different.
Distinguish yourself
Yeah.
from the crowd or the lot of people already seemingly doing the same thing as you are. So I feel like they're twins. They're straight twins from same mother, some parent trap thing going on. Like, they need each other. They work hand in hand, even though they look like they should be separated, but they need to be together, right? You know. So yeah,
Me,
you
I'm kind
can't
of
do
old
without.
school. Like when you mention the word clout, I think it's an ugly word because I believe that if you are talented and your talent should speak for you. So you don't need to pull up extra publicity stunts for you to get noticed. Like look at Adele now. Adele can go off Instagram for like a year. She comes back looking slim. That's it. You shut down.
Wow, okay with that.
Yeah. While some people, oh my lord, they have to be on Instablog Nigeria commenting 24/7 because
But
they
she
need
did get some clapbacks though
for
losing weight.
it's not it's that problem.
Yeah,
We all
but
have problems with that. But what I'm saying is that
we still love her.
for someone like Adele, her talent goes before her. So someone
of
like
course.
Kendrick Lamar, his talent goes before him, or certain people. But
Mm.
you look at people like the elephant in the room, obviously, Kanye West or Kanye Kardashian, anyhow you want to call him, and the whole wahala that surrounds him. Like Kanye West, before the first 10 years of Kanye West's career, Kanye West was very, very quiet when he was in the media. All of a sudden, 2014, 13, 12, he flipped and he started making outrageous comments, started doing outrageous things. And, some might say it's negative, but some people still love him for that.
Of course.
Some people love him for that. He's gaining followers by the day. He's making a lot of noise, getting a lot of attention. And because of Kanye West, somebody who is upcoming in the game will be like, you know what, it's not what you rap or whatever you put out there, that is the whole drama that you bring. But at some point, I think that drama can lead to a toxic environment, which you cannot control at the end of the day. And someone like Kanye, I'm sure he can't turn off the tap when it's all said and done, when he has finished this whole buzz bass. So where does Clout stop? Really? Because it doesn't, let me give you an example. Michael Jackson in his prime, right?
Yeah.
Before they started calling Wako Jacko, it was all good. He was known as this uber talented human being. Then he had that incident where he was doing the Pepsi commercial, his hair got burnt and everything. So so when he went to the hospital to get his treatment, and they took him around the hospital, and he saw an oxygen chamber in it. And this is how the whole story of the oxygen, Michael Jackson, the oxygen, where people say Michael Jackson sleeps in an oxygen chamber. He took a picture of it and he was playing with it, and he was just playful picture. He now told his manager, you know what, let's put it out to the press and say that I sleep here. And that was the beginning of the Wako Jacko personality that he could not take back again. Yeah. So I think for Clout, people have to be careful, like what you're chasing. That at the end of the day, this thing doesn't come and bite you in your behind, in the behind or the ass. AWSS, please. Yeah. So you have to be. You see celebrities coming out and say, the public pressure is too much, the scrutiny is too much, but you're the one that puts it out there.
Yeah, you want it.
You put your marriage out there. You put all those things out there. So where does it stop?
But really, though, Ayo, can they help it? Can you help not being in public eye?
Yeah, but you can control it.
Wow.
I don't know. Obviously, if I could control it, I'd be a celebrity. But obviously, you can't control it and let people know that this is out of bounds.
Well, true though. Anyway, that's very honest. Don't mind me, I was messing around with that. Like, where does it stop?
It doesn't stop this day and age because now,
of course, like
there's a 24/7 machine. Instablog Nigeria will be waiting for you to just mess up.
literally, even when you're out of the scene, like they kind of like find you there. Like, it's like once you go in, you can't come out. But I've seen some people who have come out actually.
Who?
A couple people. Don't worry, these people.
They're not celebrities.
They're not celebrities.
There's no point. That's why they can come out.
Exactly, but like once you hit that mark, there's no going back because like people are still going to be wondering what are you up to. Like you've given us this time of wonder. What are you doing? What's happening? of course, maybe like bringing it home to Nigeria, we find people we don't really have like
We have cloud chasers in Nigeria. Let's not even
yeah, but we don't really have a good follow up culture.
of who following up that person.
Yeah, like following up till the very end. There's some people in the like who were in public spaces
But no,
that right
Femi
now.
is fickle anywhere in the
Mm,
world. If you're not hot, next person move over.
yeah, completely. But doesn't mean that that person wouldn't get some time in the day at sometime in the sun at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You will come up in the gist somehow. Nigeria literally be like, if the Nigerians say, "Oh my, don't be for you, don't be
It's
for
gone.
you,"
It's
like
gone.
cancelled. Like literally, you can be here today and tomorrow, Nigerians can. I don't know how it happens.
Yeah.
But we legit have that. Nigerians have that clout.
We've cancelled a few people.
Do you understand?
Before.
Exactly. Cancel culture is so big in in Nigeria, and I feel like in a place like Nigeria, you can legit now say, where does it end? Because it can end. They can end it for you, but does in the real sense of it, it doesn't really end.
But it doesn't mean you should not be chasing clouds or be
Mm.
doing antics or chasing drama just because you want to be on social media all the time.
Man, but why is it so important though? Like,
I think it's part of some people's PR strategy.
Mm.
Like, okay, if I'm coming out with something, I need to create wahala. Like, I hate to go back to Kanye, but people say the only time Kanye makes all this dramatic noises whenever he wants to release a new pair of sneakers or he wants to drop an album. Yeah, and if you are doing clout solely for that purpose, then well, you could justify it and be like, okay, just to whip up, public attention. But oh boy, if it's not for that and you're just there, bruh, it is one hellhole.
I even think like it's also important because like acceleration, right? You can wait till you organically blow.
Nobody.
Right?
Well,
Your
first of all, that nobody organically blows anymore.
That's why like maybe
Air
that's why
quotes.
this is also do you
Yeah.
understand? That's why I'm quoting it because it's never really organic. You're doing something, right? There's a saying that goes if a man knows what, like, not verbatim anyway, if a man knows what he's doing, the world will make a beating path to his doorstep, like
Yeah.
regardless of where he is. But maybe you're not ready to wait for the world to make paths to your doorstep, so you have to do something,
That's
right?
audition for Big Brother Nigeria.
Exactly.
But that's basically
Literally.
Big Brother Nigeria is a clout machine.
Yeah.
It tells you that I will give you fame,
Mm-hmm.
I give you popularity
Mm-hmm.
if you just expose yourself for how many days? 75 days, 78 days.
90 days. And that was
Was
the
this one
number
90 days?
This is 71.
So this is the corona version.
Yeah, version. This is
Oh, okay.
lockdown version.
This is the COVID version of it, yeah. And you do all that. And I've heard a couple of them who come out, not just housemates, but other housemates come out and be like, if they know that this is what it's entailed, they won't have done it because people will be on you 24/7.
Yeah.
There's no privacy. You can't even like another person's
In peace.
without people adding 2 + 2 together.
And I think like that's also the bad, like, is that that's like the downsides of like being in public space.
I think that's the downsides of you even being on social media, because what social media has done is basically turned fame and popularity into a commodity, which you can get on your phone. So back in the day, for you to say you won't have 1 million fans, you're either a singer, a rapper, an actor, a director, movie director.
Really
You do something artistic. You're giving the hair. But now you can just be on your phone, and people just like you because of how you talk.
Completely.
Then you now get 1 million followers. But you notice that your next post didn't do so good. The next post didn't do so good. So the next thing for you to do something well, so everybody gets on your page and everything, and boost your profile once again. So that's the dark side of it. I think that's the Black Mirror effects of clouds, or the Black
Mirror.
Yeah, it's the Black Mirror because
Yeah.
people do crazy things.
Yeah,
You've seen wild things all out there on social media.
Remember the episode of Black Mirror where there was actually that thing where
you have to
had
give off
to
likes.
likes and all of that. That's all about the clout, really. The likes determined the circle you kept, the where you lived, where you worked. Everything was like, maybe the world is moving to that point.
Probably. If Elon Musk has his way, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that because maybe me now.
You still believe in Lekki the ghetto because your Instagram is the ghetto.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, but now we're talking about some really key thing in clouds, which is social media and virtual spaces. How do you think so far they've helped in pushing clout? I mean, you've given a hint already, but yeah.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah, because so this kind of leads into like the next subtopic and everything. But back then, if you even wanted to even do anything, you wanted to get clout. You just so in the Nigerian perspective, you had to go to city people or encomium or ovation, and pray they write about you and they put you in the front cover. You've been on the front cover of any of these soft sell magazines was like you getting an award because they
Yeah.
basically consigned you and said, "Yo, this is the next person coming up."
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if it's negative.
You
They
just
say you're
want to be
sleeping
there,
wool.
Sha.
Just let them keep talking about me. Let them keep talking
Exactly.
about me. What social media has done is it has cut away that whole
Process.
gatekeeper thing, right? And I said, look, you can be famous without traditional media. You don't need to go on TV. You don't need to go on radio. You don't need to do press rounds. You can just be this person
Yeah.
and get popular. Bobrisky became popular without, like,
Any of those
first of all,
things,
how many media platforms will even put Bobrisky out there?
out there,
It's
truly,
it's
at the
possible.
time even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone like Bobrisky now didn't have to go to TV, radio, or the press to say, yo, I'm this, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. He just did what she just did what she had to do.
Shim.
Yeah.
Just there.
And, from Snapchat, boom, 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 boom. And that's what social media has done. Like I said,
Yeah.
it has given you fame, notoriety, popularity. It's right there in your hands right now. You don't need to be on any traditional media platform to say, I'm that person, which is good. But at the end of the day, it's bad because traditional media sometimes would normally restrict people who they see as going to be problematic or don't have the right message. But social media these days,
It's unfiltered.
it's wide, wide west.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Anything will go.
Anything can
literally.
happen. Yeah.
And anything will go too. The craziest content that you feel like nobody's watching out for, everybody, like the other day we mentioned midget sex on porn sites. Like,
Okay, that's the far end. But,
do you
let's
get,
hold
like,
it on, yeah.
so everything legit goes. Like, anything can happen,
Yeah.
and it's unfiltered. It's such an unfiltered process, which is, for me, has its good sides, but I'll project more the good sides than the downsides, because it means there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
So it has made it a huge assortment of sorts of.
There's something for everybody out there on
Exactly.
social media.
If you think about the craziest thing, you definitely find content for it. Like, that's how much, which helps, in a good way for people who want to create content as well, people who want to do research. It makes for a more wholesome experience as opposed to you try to check something and you can't find it. There were times we would say we tried to do project that time. You go on the internet at some point and you just be like dead end. Like, but now it's completely different because you go on the internet, you look for stuff and you find your answers.
Yeah.
There's an answer. There's a following for everybody, right? So, like, for me, I think it's a whole lot better. Like, I see that social media has gone into that space and occupied it. Of course, just like the yin and yang of the world, like every bad thing has a good thing, every good thing has a bad thing. It has its own downsides, of course, but maybe not necessarily. I'm not going to talk about downsides because right now it doesn't directly affect me.
But it could affect us as a society.
It could affect us as a
you
society.
see, especially minors trying to get clout for
Precisely.
how to be popular by school.
Oh, yeah.
And start doing crazy things on social media.
I remember the thing that happened on social media where after the lockdown, like some schoolboys were giving their teacher, they will tell the teacher, go and clean the compound.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we'll set to you, we'll give him money just for him to, yes, maybe stuff like that, right? But as I said, it doesn't directly affect me right now. It doesn't mean that I'm taking away from those who it affects, but it also just gives you the option of blocking out what you don't want. Exactly, the noise.
But sometimes you can't block it out.
Completely.
Especially on Twitter, you can't say, "Oh, I'm blocking out this kind of person," because obviously there'll be retweets, there'll be mentions, news organizations will write about that person, and so on and so. So I think we've entered the era, the space of gatekeepers in the industry, and before social media, gatekeepers were the people who decided what goes on air, what goes out there in print. So if you're an artist and
were they people? Do you feel like they were people?
They're people, saying, "Oh, okay, as an artist, we don't like your music. Your music, nobody's going to hear your music."
Back then, like you.
If your music was not radio on TV, nobody's going to listen to you.
I don't think it was even about the music. I think it was more about the person.
Obviously,
your face is ugly.
We don't like you. It's not sellable.
Exactly.
And stuff. Even in the music industry, if they didn't like your sound, nobody was going to sign you.
Nobody's gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, or if you're an actress or an actor, bro, or this is your movie. If you bring out a movie and be like, Nigerians won't watch this movie.
Exactly.
But social media has cut that away and has given a voice to a whole lot of people to come out and express their ideas. If you look at the Alte music scene, Alte wouldn't have happened with the gatekeepers. Because they'll be
True.
like, who are these kids who look like,
All states rejects.
oh yeah, they look like rejects and everything.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. But is that a good thing though, that, the internet just has a no barrier system and just allows anybody to be anybody?
So, as I said, it has like its good and it has its bad because human beings are complex, right?
Very complex.
We say one thing, but many times we do something else. And many times we do something else and say something else. So we have multifaceted people, complex beings just trying to fit into a certain type of periscope or way, whatever. You know, if we were black and white, maybe then I would say the filter. In fact, there will be no need for filters. But because we're
Or gatekeepers.
exactly or gatekeepers, but because we are so multidimensional, we are. As much as we lie about it, we can beat ourselves up about it, we write about it, is a lie. We want to see all of that content too, because as whimsical as our thought processes are, we want to literally, you can just see something happening right now, you want to go and search on it just to be better informed even before anything dark else happens. You want to know what it is first before you can join it.
Yeah.
But it's also bad because, as I said, human beings are fickle and complex. So give them the option and they'll go with it.
They're wrong with it.
Yeah. Streamline what they can see and they'll go with that. Like that's basically how the mind works. And the divergent thing, remember the Divergent movie? Like for you to think differently, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're trying to project. If you're thinking differently, then there's something definitely wrong with you. But that's just who you are. That as humans, that's who we are. We're always thinking differently, doing things differently. So I mean, I feel like the good and the bad all depends on the time of your life, what's happening around you at the time. It's circumstantial.
Yeah.
So social media and all its contents would be what it is for you, depending on what you're going through. If I'm going through a heartbreak, I don't think I want to be seeing Adele on my timeline singing some sad stuff.
Yeah.
Block, jigget. So, but to some other person, it's great. Oh, Adele, I connect to her on that level. Remember when my heart was broken? And yeah, there's that. So I think for me, it's very circumstantial. You have to, it has to be your reality at the time that would determine whether it's bad or it's good for you.
Okay.
But limiting people have always been global, like global. We're global now, know.
For me, I think I think the fact that social media doesn't have any gatekeepers has worked well for the Nigerian comedy industry. You look at people like Brother Shaggy, Taoma, MC Lively, the rest of them. If you actually listen to, at least if you listen to Shaggy or MC Lively, you say that they've been auditioning for movies for years and they never got in proper role. But look at them right now on social media. They are huge. They are big.
They're really owning it.
I can't see any TV station in the country or any TV station anywhere else that will say, "Oh, Brother Shaggy, let's give you like a 30-minute program where you just do your own stuff."
And then they rush them.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, but on social media, these guys are caking and they've created another industry for themselves. And obviously employment for even the people at the back end. Obviously, you have a cameraman.
Completely.
Okay, costumer, no matter bad as bad rich. Even the person that edits it will get, and they've created another industry for themselves without gatekeepers.
Of course.
Which shows you like this is the power of social media. We don't need gatekeepers because let's not lie, traditional media is 10 steps behind what's happening on social media.
Exactly.
You see trends on social media, you don't even see any reflection of it on traditional media because they don't have that time. There's always news.
And probably they've not even caught up as well.
They've not caught up with
Yeah,
it
they
yet.
haven't caught up.
And so in places like UK, if you go viral and you keep doing it over and over, they'll give you a gig somewhere. On one TV station will give you a gig. Head of one show or do a comedy special.
Just so that people can be fixated.
And you need the eyeballs of people on social media to come and watch your TV station.
Yeah.
Especially millennials and Gen Z who hardly watch TV these days. So I think traditional media needs to know that, look, we do not need gatekeepers as much as they needed it before.
Of course.
Because they need to widen the scope of the talent pool. And the talent pool is out there on social media. And if they don't embrace that, they will die. And that is why I can't remember last time I watched television.
Same here.
Yeah, because
I watch Netflix on TV.
there's now no television. A lot of television.
Yeah, I watch Netflix
Do
on
that
TV though.
by 9 o'clock they do
You know all the TV programs that are on air.
Because bro, it's not reflective of what we are watching.
Exactly.
Even there are YouTube series now that are more reflective of our generation or the current trends or the current happenings, our realities, than you watch TV and you're like, bro, which century or which planet did they put this from?
Yeah.
So, and this is why a lot of media outfits in Nigeria even need to go digital or even need to focus more on internet, because that's the future.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to click on and say you're watching some old school thing. No, people want to see. Even the way you tell news now has to be different.
Completely.
You have to say it in a comedy-like style, not this is NTA News now o'clock.
But channels has managed to stay relevant in terms of news.
Yeah, because
news telling.
Because that is their
core.
So if you do like, oh, this is our own speciality, people understand. Just like MTV Base or the other TV stations, people understand that, yeah, okay, this is what they do. But if you want to do a mix, bruh, you have to be on social media. You have to be on the internet. Like NTA has to be so. I don't know. Look at what BBC has done. BBC used to be like be radio TV.
Yeah.
BBC owns internet right now in Nigeria.
Actually,
there's nothing you search for
that you don't have the content.
The first link you always saw, the second link is always. I don't even BBC.
To whoever does their SEO
is BBC Pidgin, because they know that, look, forget this English thing that I'm talking about.
Say streets, this Nigeria, so
streets they run out.
You understand?
If they didn't understand that, before I used to think BBC was like, oh, the Queen's radio station, prim and proper. Hi, this is now called. They're listening to the BBC straight from London. We're like, oh my god.
No blinking, they're so serious.
Back then, in our secondary school, we used to have one joke that it's the BBC time, like the original time. So if you say, what's your time? 8:59. I hear BBC 9 o'clock. Say the time is 9 o'clock. The time is 9 o'clock, because that's what we used to listen to. But they have to know that, bro, we can't be doing that in this day and age, man. We have to expand and go out there on social media and do what we have to do.
Completely.
Even though they have gatekeepers, they know how to get the content they want and push it out there. Yeah, so I think for gatekeepers, they are not needed in this day and age, because if you keep gatekeeping, bruh, nobody's going to listen to
you. So maybe gatekeepers now have a new name. Maybe gatekeepers are now like content creators.
I think that's what they should be called right now.
Yeah, so like gatekeepers in this day and age now have that name.
Imagine a team of 30 young people in NT and saying, you guys are the content creation department. So give us TV series that you know that people want to watch.
But they'll even be more fired up to actually do the work.
Yes, now. Because
when you give them that name.
First of all, it's NTA. This is the largest network in Nigeria.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Exactly.
So your job is, guys, is to give us programs that the whole country will watch that is today. Whether it's a TV series, whether it's even the way we say the news.
Exactly.
Just let documentaries. You guys are the content creators. You have everything at your disposal. You have the whole nation at your disposal. So
do it as you
please.
Do
it as you please. So I think for traditional media, they have to look at that these guys you have to be content creators and not gatekeepers. So you have to spot the next trend and to give us the content like that, to duplicate that content for us, and let us be in tune with what's happening in popular culture.
But it's amazing anyway how things changed real quick. Like, I don't know if I remember exactly when, like, I can put a timeline to it, like when gatekeeping was completely pushed out the door.
Like Twitter now, when Twitter just started happening.
Yeah, like literally, Twitter now determines what happens. Like, people on Twitter sneeze.
They now report what happens on Twitter.
Exactly, on radio and every other platform even. Yeah. Like literally, when they say the people are agitating, they're actually talking about what's happening on
online,
Twitter. Yeah. Or Instagram or somewhere. Like, so the news is even still now. Why would you even watch
which is a problem, because when I was working in the TV station, something happens on Twitter, by the time you say you want to report it, they've moved it beyond that. The whole world has moved beyond that.
Something else is happening.
Yeah. So that is why you still need traditional media to be like, they should even
to be quick.
They should even stop calling themselves traditional media if they still do, and know that they're not digital media and they need to be very, very, very fast. Truly. They need to be streaming 24/7 to catch the latest things that are happening.
Really, but I don't know why it's so hard for them to even transition, because
it's money, ego.
Really,
it's ego.
Is it really? It's
really not really money, but this is more of an attitude. We've been doing this for years, and this is the way it works.
It's not pride though. I think for me it's pride.
Yeah.
For me it's just pride. Like, who are these new kids on the block telling us what to do? Do you know how old I am? How many years?
Like, I don't see why AIT shouldn't have bought like 4 or 5 websites.
And I'm so surprised that exactly AIT hasn't done that. or a Silverbird or something.
You look at
like,
all the big websites in the country and just say, you know what, we've acquired your account, we bought you. Finish. Just keep doing what you're doing. You have our
occupy that
resources.
space. They're taking so long though.
It's not that they've become extinct.
Are they waiting? No, but they've allowed them.
Look at City People. City People, Ecomium were the biggest software magazines in this country.
Mm-hmm.
But when internet came, Linda just took off.
But like that's the thing. Why allow yourself go?
Because
like
you
that?
do not see
Time went from hard copy to soft copy.
human
today.
beings.
Why?
Human beings like when you find yourself in your
Maybe
comfort
we should
zone.
streamline it to Nigeria.
Yes, obviously Nigeria. When you're in your comfort zone, you don't see the. You don't see the next thing that's approaching. You're like, oh boy, I'm the biggest here.
True.
Linda was the biggest website in Nigeria, bruh. But she didn't see Instablog Nigeria coming.
Truly.
So all that 30 minutes you go take, use publish story. Instablog just copy and paste.
Right from the happening, as the thing they happen for the street.
As
they
they
take
hot.
the picture. You understand?
As they hot.
Straight.
We don't know now what's going to be next after Instablog Nigeria.
Exactly.
We don't know what's going to be the next thing that will make
I see
Instablog.
Ijoma Daisy coming up.
Yeah, shout out to Ijoma Daisy.
Shout out to Ijoma Daisy.
Yeah, but Instablog is chilling now. You don't know that maybe now as the news is happening, we don't watch out for our phone like this.
Exactly.
You don't even need an Instablog Nigeria.
Exactly. Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. Which is rather interesting. And that's what I feel tech has also done for
That's
us.
yes, that's opened the space. But the problem is now that with tech and there are no gatekeepers, the era of fake news has come up.
Like
Fake
largely.
news is a problem all over the world because it feeds on people's prejudices.
Vulnerability.
Like if you believe that a certain people are bad, and I write a fake story about that, you're going to believe it. You're not even going to question.
You're not going to ever question.
You're not going to
it.
even question it at all. It's not going to be at the back of your mind. This thing. So I think the internet that we're seeing it, or social media that are seeing it, we even started to see gatekeeping where Facebook will say this is fake news. They take it down. Even if you say something false about COVID-19 right now on Twitter, it will be taken down. Or on Instagram, it will be taken down.
Okay.
So those are the new gatekeepers because at the end of the day,
They set the tone.
the implication of them putting out that kind of fake news out there, it's going to be very, very disastrous. Even of WhatsApp, you can't forward a message to more than 20 people or so.
Yeah.
To control. I think something happened in India where people were forwarding a particular message and it led to like a violent event.
Oh, really?
So it stopped it. Even today on WhatsApp, you still see it.
Yeah.
When they say broadcast.
My name is Jesus.
I remember during the whole COVID lockdown, they said every Nigerian should be at home by 10 o'clock because the federal government wants to spray the whole country.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And they even showed people. They're actually showing people.
I'm like,
those guys fumigating cans.
And they get
road.
pictures because you just go and Google one old picture and put it there.
And put it there.
And
it
people are not going
works.
to question it. They're going to be like, oh boy, this is true.
Look
Look at the 5G conspiracy.
Exactly.
People ran without
Shout
it.
out.
To our pastor.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
We you, sir.
Yeah, Pastor Jerry Coy.
You understand?
They didn't even question it.
More calls to your Jerry.
They just kept moving around. So you need
That was so
gatekeepers.
boring.
Yeah. You need gatekeepers
Yeah.
on social media too because it can go crazy. Even now, I think Instagram I don't know if it's Instagram or a particular country, they're saying that they want to make it mandatory for celebrities that if you edit your photo or use a lot of filters, there'll be a tag on it that this photo was edited. So as not to
I
give.
think that works. I
Yeah.
think that should completely happen.
Because a lot of people look at celebrities and be like, wow.
That's perfect.
And this is filter.
Do you understand?
And you now go to your plastic surgeon and this is what you want.
Exactly.
And you now being
a
spiral.
fake image.
They're
Like,
selling you a fake image.
completely.
So even we need, obviously social media brings liberty, but too much liberty for the human race has kill leg.
yeah.
Serious kill leg.
It's really it will lead to our downfall.
Yeah.
Even if we're not taking care of this thing.
Yeah, true. So with the rise of social media, we've seen a new set of how will I call them now? Celebrities who are not the normal type of celebrities.
Exactly.
They are people who are being celebrated for living, for existing, basically, and they are called social media influencers.
Completely.
So how you define a social media influencer? Nigerian term, let's make it as Nigerian as possible. Let's not use Oyibo because Oyibo people have it.
They have their own thing
Yeah.
going. And I like that we're even talking like based on Nigerian market because Nigerian market is really unique.
Or the Nigerian space.
It's very unique. It's such a unique market. We're very emotional people,
Yeah.
right? I don't want to say we're solely emotional. So we're emotional and proud people.
Yeah.
We would sympathize or empathize with a person, but that doesn't never necessarily translate into numbers.
Yeah.
It's either you can't read. There's no hard and fast with that's more like it. There's no hard and fast rule to how the Nigerian market works. For 1 second, you think, if I do it like this, it will
Where?
make me, yeah. I'm sure that if we speak to some of these social media influencers or brand influencers, as maybe, what's the right word?
Social media
Now we have
influencers.
to be
Or influencers,
we have to
anyone.
be socially
No,
correct,
it's
right? So if
influencers.
you speak to
No,
some of
because you
these
can be a brand influencer and not be a
a
social
social
media
media
influencer.
influencer, exactly, right? So social media influencers is who we're talking about, right? So like if you speak to some of them, you'll find that there was this tweet that went viral that how many products you don't buy from Twitter since you don't they see
None.
your social media.
None.
So exactly sometimes it helps for clicking, like click through rates.
It's just for awareness.
Awareness.
Just to see it on your timeline. Oh, okay.
Exactly. Oh, this thing day. I think away from like even like I don't know how exactly I'm saying like a lot. What's this? I don't know how exactly what I think it also depends on the brand as well, what they're trying to push out, right? Influencers on social media, for me, I don't think necessarily they've ever. Sometimes I don't even remember some of the
You know
brands.
they work. You know work for
Exactly.
you. You know work for
Except
you.
maybe some popular brands that they push out, like Peak Milk, Cadbury, all those guys. But like when they're pushing out a brand I know nothing about, because I have never interfaced with that brand before. Sometimes I'm not bothered, except of course it has to do with money. And I think those are the guys that are really like important right now, because a lot of fintechs are doing great, and Nigeria is even tending towards fintechs over banks.
Yeah.
But
Nobody wants to queue.
yeah, exactly. Nobody wants to queue because these guys have quicker solutions to our problems. I
Yeah.
think I'm more pushed to what's the name of these Cowrie people?
Let's not mention that name. They not paid us money.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Please, true. Please, so when
So we can influence.
exactly, we can influence. At
Don't
this
bring the
point,
money. The money will influence us to speak about you.
we encourage us.
Yeah.
So like there's I think more fintech, but necessarily for me, I don't think social media influencers have actually ever pushed me to buying anything.
Okay.
But I speak for myself.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there are a large majority of people.
Yeah, a lot of
who-
people are like that.
Yeah,
Who say that? So first of all, the way I see it in Nigeria, social media influencers are people who just have a large following. So, we have 1 million followers on Instagram, 500k, 50k, 100k on Twitter, 30k, 40k, 50k upwards, and brands and reach out to them. You know what? Help us push out these products or this new service we are pushing. And for me, I won't call them influencers because in the Nigerian context, they're more like amplifiers.
Yeah.
So they just it's like they're basically old school advertising.
More the word,
It's like you watching a TV program and advertisement comes on and you don't really care, but you just have to watch because
exactly.
you have to wait. So sometimes when you see these so-called social media influencers put out, you're like, oh, okay, move on.
Yeah.
And that is why sometimes the engagement rate, the impressions, or even the conversions at the end of the day they don't match up to
the numbers they
don't
have.
match up to the numbers they have. Well, in Nigeria, it's just unfortunately it's a numbers game. How many followers do you have? Okay, just help us run this thing, and we'll pay you. What I know they do in America is that if there's a product or a service, they tell you to use that influencer's link, a special link.
Yeah, to buy.
So then they can track how
it converted into sales.
Yeah, how the campaign worked with you. But in Nigeria, nobody will do that one because it's just to get followers.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these influencers, we know they get their fans or their following from the back end. They do the wuru way. Go and buy bots. So somebody with 5,000 followers, the next day has 1 million followers. It's impossible.
How did you skyrocket? That's not organic anymore.
It's not organic anymore. But unfortunately, brands do not care because there are people who they can use who are called micro influencers who have 10,000 or less, 5,000 or less. But if they put out any product, people around them will be like, yeah, that's true. And it begins to grow and grow like that. But you now give somebody who has nothing to do with even fintech and nah, bro, it's not going to work. And people know that. People on social media actually know.
The way the person will even project the product is another thing,
Yeah.
right? So it's one thing to have a product. It's another thing for the product to be projected right in the way the story or the brand is supposed to be.
You need a narration behind it.
Exactly. The way the brand is supposed to be represented. For instance, if anybody were to give me, for instance, anything about football,
you'd be the youngest person.
That's an epic fail, right?
Yeah, youngest person.
I wouldn't project it right. But I might have the numbers. I might also have a following that might be interested in football.
No, you won't have, because over time, the people that are following you they know that you don't like football, so they don't like football.
Exactly, but maybe there could be a couple few that.
But it won't be large enough
Yeah, it will not be large enough to
make sense for that
exactly
spend
for
they're
that
giving you.
brand.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I think for me, sometimes I think it's also brand misrepresentation that even feels like largely, as opposed to sometimes I think these brands are so eager for numbers that they forget that the way my brand is being put out, positioned, said, read, talked about is also as important as the product you're also pushing out, right? Or the person you're giving it to. More like like the platform you're putting it on. If you were going to be selling what?
Now, if you give me an alcohol brand, I'll be like, bro, I don't drink, bro.
You guys, Ayo doesn't drink.
Yeah, I don't drink, so like, how do I want to sell it? Unless I'm being honest, I'm like, guys, I think I know how to
And
sell
I
it.
need to drag you for not drinking alcohol someday.
You know what? I know how to sell it.
How you say?
I just hold the bottle. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't even believe.
No, I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen.
You've not even
Wait,
started.
I said, ladies and
It
gentlemen,
says,
I do not drink, but this brand gave me such a big bag that I'm begging you, please, please and please and please.
the alcohol will be great.
I'll
for
read
you.
the script. They said this is, and I'm honest, this is God and truth. People will engage with that content more
Because
than
it's
anything.
honest.
Yeah, I'm like, bro. See, bro, now hustle all of us do.
Not street.
See, I'm about to read the script they gave me, and you guys,
Have
if you
to
like him,
listen.
if you like him, buy him.
Please
If I don't like him, your boy don't get him back. Glory be to God.
At
At the end of the day. But you don't see somebody who does not even have nothing to do with the brand, and you just like, bro, this is just paid at the end of the day, and people are going to hit some like, move on.
I think for me, that's what I even look out for when, like, I see social media influencers talking about a certain brand. Especially if I know that brand on a personal level, like I either purchase from them or I know people who buy from them, and I just see somebody talking about them, and it's just almost so there's a huge disconnect for me.
Yeah.
It's just,
the copy itself, you know that this was sent from somebody
do you understand?
from the agency, and not even obviously the influencer.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, I'm on everybody they fine.
Now,
That's
money
the
they fine,
money
even
they
America,
fine
you
for
see
all.
some influencers like, bro, this is. We know that they are selling these products, but what gives at the end of the day?
Exactly.
I think one of the greatest. I think there's a guy called Casey Neistat. He's in America. He's one of the biggest YouTube vloggers in the world. Like, this guy talks to YouTube one-on-one. The heads of YouTube one-on-one.
Hey, God win.
So I'm not sure if they gave him. I don't know where it was. I think they told him to do a campaign for. They had a wristband. This was before the watch came out. I think it was called the Pro Band or something like that, or Fair Band, that helps you calculate your miles or something like that.
Yeah.
I know what this guy did. This guy went around the world just running. So you get land one place, run, and there's a whole video about it, or like a small documentary, or you can
That's amazing.
achieve how you can achieve great things in life, break the barriers, you hit your potentials.
And count your miles.
Bro, I wasn't like, you won't buy this thing at the end of the day.
Completely.
Not the one that you now come and take photo and be like, yeah. Nobody's gonna believe you, bro.
Which is why, like, brand story is also very interesting, because I feel like many brands are just very hungry for.
I think there's pressure on the brand manager to produce.
Exactly.
He has KPI this quarter, and for that they would not do evaluation. You don't think you increase the salary?
We know your struggle.
So,
actually, I agree.
Other Yankee
completely.
team, like, bro, just how far?
But at some point, we're going to get to that point in Nigeria where we're going to be
because
you're going to be losing money.
It's oversaturated now.
Exactly.
It's so easy for anybody to have like 10,000 followers. Bro.
So easy.
That dress you're putting on, right? If you put it on without even mentioning the dress, just put like the handle. How many people are going to buy it?
Exactly.
That's when you know that you're an influencer.
You're really influencing.
Or you put on a t-shirt and people like,
I'm not amplifying.
Yeah. Where did you get that? Not the one of this brand says if you follow me, they'll give you 30,000 naira. So follow, do the screenshot, bro. You're manipulating.
Exactly.
Yeah,
besides that's what they call it. Freebies, right? That's basically.
That's what everybody does in Nigeria now.
They're doing freebies.
Follow me. I'm sharing credit today. Follow me.
And follow so brand.
Drop your account details in the comment below, and people go rush.
Exactly.
Now. But the day you need someone to do something,
Nigeria.
those numbers won't count for you at the end of the day. And somebody that has 500 followers will just have mad engagement.
Truly.
Because that's like honest. And I think that's why TikTok comes into play, because TikTok now is like you have to engage with this person.
Shout out to TikTok.
Yeah, you have to engage with this person. And TikTok influencers are now become the new Like the music industry label loves them because
Exactly.
they're the ones that make songs blow.
Look at Don't Rush during
The
the
guy said
during the
he
lockdown.
said he had dropped that song for a while,
Exactly.
forgotten about it, and somebody
That was
just
our
brought that.
lockdown jam.
Don't rush. Don't
Not
rush.
touch. Alright.
It was everywhere until I got like, bro.
Do you understand?
This ain't one brush all of them they use. So that brush, no, it's enough. That brush is the feel given out COVID.
I promise you, they were sharing the brush. That's so true. They were sharing that brush on
Yes,
social
they
media.
went around the world. That brush went around the world.
Man,
Like,
shout out to
yeah, so
TikTok
even music
influencers.
labels are not seeing that. Even with that, there's a downturn because the consumer knows when this influencer has been paid by music label.
And it's overflogging it.
Yeah. So now you are seeing influencers on TikTok saying no, it's enough. We're not going to be doing that all the time because people will know that this is obviously fake.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. But in Nigeria, bro,
But I think I also kind of like the way like brands spread it across different influencers as opposed to leaving like
I think the best influencers in Nigeria right now the food influencers because everyone loves food.
everybody.
So if
Food
you
is
see correct food
important.
there, just put your recipe. People go rush
But
out.
food don't plenty.
No, that
there's
is-
too much food.
That's
Real
those
life,
are the
virtually.
those are the people who say they want to do the cooking. But
Ah.
the people that give you recipes, they have
Yeah.
their own because they have a strong community.
Oh, but they've always had that community anyway.
See, since Maggie family menu.
Shoko Yokoto even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Nigerians will watch. You know, you say cooking food. Like that is influence. Like literally, Maggie was #1 for decades.
It still is anyway, as far as I'm concerned.
Even
Because every
when-
seasoning cube is
Even
Maggie.
even every season you could want a Maggie.
Yeah,
Say
sir.
I want that different Maggie.
Maggie. No, give me that Maggie. That
And that's because for years they just became the brand sponsors of
different cooking
Maggie,
shows.
Maggie family, even the cooking show, Maggie,
Yeah.
and it worked for years.
Mhm.
So even on social media, it works. Musicians in Nigeria tend to spoil things. Like this
Yeah.
girl, Crackhead Extra.
Mm.
There's some songs there. I'm like, nobody even knows this song. you're shouting about.
Nobody actually. Like, there's
But
some of the
obviously,
songs I can't relate to.
You collected your 150K.
You understand?
This thing.
And then we've seen some people also trying to, and then there's this
The
thing of
copycat
photo.
syndrome.
Yeah.
So you're now seeing people go in front of Yaba left, acting crazy, or you stop in front of the toll gate. You stop. First of all,
Exactly.
anybody, I don't think they should even allow people there anymore.
Do you get what?
You they see you there, they tow your car, get out. What's that?
Oh my word! What if they come there with their legs? I mean, freedom of creativity.
I know,
now.
but it's
Is
no
that
longer
not-
creative. Or the one I hate most right now, something challenge. You do song, you write drops,
I saw
dance
it on
challenge,
NYSC
everything.
challenge.
Everything. You drop new song, the next day you're doing dance challenge. Please, I don't want to be challenged in Jesus' name. I don't want challenge in my life. Please, all you influencers is enough. I'm tired.
Because they see that these hashtags are winning, though.
Small thing, boom, dancing. You dance on top car. Like how many dance you want to dance? You don't tire us.
See, but guess what? It's always going to be oversaturated because, as I said, the Nigerian market is so unique that
Yeah.
when it works for one person,
Content creators are always looking for, bro, what's the next scope? Now it's the mad one. So I was wearing Pampers the other day. I saw a babe and a guy. They went to the mall. They were dressed like rag day,
yeah.
but it was even worse than rag day. They're not
wow.
even more. They wanted to order something. Everyone looking at them. I'm like, bro, the day they go carry people and enter van,
You understand?
I enter Yaba
This one I
left.
won't talk.
It will be some real shit.
You understand?
You know go.
Because Nigeria, we're crazy like that, man. Pop anytime.
Yeah.
Can rough you.
So we need, even on social media, we need a lot of creative individuals. But the problem is that a lot of creative individuals are always like, nah, I can't do that. I can't be doing formulas on Instagram. But if you don't do that,
But Raz sells, though.
never Raz, but if you don't do that, you not give opportunity for people who don't really know how to tell
The
brand
proper,
stories.
proper stories.
Yeah, so that
really.
is why it's necessary. I'm not saying everybody should be a brand influencer, but if you know that you can tell stories, unique stories, and people can go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Do it because
completely.
I even think Instagram influencers are better. Twitter influencers are the worst.
So I'm not really on Twitter.
So they just
Let me
said
scratch my
they
neck
said the
'cause I
craziest thing just for like I can never ever cook for my wife because they know that's going to trigger people.
Truly.
And into that boom, into that I'm like, bro, people fail for this shit. Or they do the one of questionnaire. What's your favorite color? You choose. What's your favorite car? You not be going and they manipulate the algorithm. Then you now see a hashtag trending for no reason.
No reason. Completely.
And I'm like, how is this possible? How did his own trend? But because they've spoilt it. So we, like I said, we don't really have influencers in Nigeria. We have amplifiers.
Yeah.
Or like I like calling them influencers with a Z because
Why?
it's a sickness.
Ah!
Influencers. They're basically just It's too much.
But I mean, shout out to the actual influencers who are influencing.
Yeah. CCME is very strong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see there are a whole lot of influencers actually influencing. So we're not shitting on your parade or anything.
But
We're trying to call out those who are just occupying
some just
space.
gather numbers and it's just noise.
It's just like some people are just selling booty, and that's fine.
Yo, let's not even go to that one. That's another fast way again.
But some people are selling skin.
Yeah.
And the skin selling business, and that's cool.
And you now put on your wig bag, nails
exactly.
bag, everything.
I mean, it's cool if like you're selling booty, but say you're selling booty.
I think it's Kim Kardashian as the
grandmaster.
She was the patron saint. She's the patron saint of that.
Kim Kardashian did.
I don't know. Her family, she's now a billionaire. Okay, apparently they're multi-millionaires in her family. So anybody look up and be like, okay, yeah.
She started like this.
So
and she decided to diversify later. So
we have our own token market in the house.
Exactly. Like what again?
So what do you want me to do?
Dude,
I can't be answering quiz questions on top, on Instagram. When I can read the
my started from the bottom story can also be like this. Yes. This could be my bottom.
Yeah,
right?
This double porn. This is my bottom. Literally, yeah.
This could be my bottom, and I'm here literally.
All right, so before we round up, let's talk about podcasts in Nigeria. That's another alternative platform that's giving voices to young Nigerians.
I want to ask you.
Yeah. You want to interview me now? Yes.
I want to interview you.
Yeah, I'll allow. Yes.
Mr. AOT2, sir.
Thank you very much. I just came back from Washington.
How was that, sir?
On my PJ. It was nice.
How was that?
I just spoke to Obama. We're looking to how to rig the next American election.
Oh, amazing. Yes. How's that coming? How was the conversation?
They don't have ballot boxes in America, so that's the problem.
So you couldn't help?
Now the matter with the treasury. Because I said the one way we run for here, it work. Well, now computer.
As you try out.
Unless we bring virus.
It don't work.
Unless we go Alaba, bring virus.
Exactly. No,
shut down
or if we go Aba, they go get them.
They go run out.
Oh, they go run out.
Bro, US.
So I think that's why you're back now to pick up the latest virus.
Yeah, the latest virus.
Oh, amazing.
So
amazing.
when you shut down the system,
yes.
we now say everybody vote by paper.
Exactly.
They will now hire touts.
Amazing. I'm so happy to be sitting with you,
Yes,
Ayo.
thank you very much.
So, and I just got back and fresh into the studio,
IJGB.
speaking with me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayo, for gracing us.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about your journey
in podcasting. Okay, how will I even start? So sometime in 2011 or 10, obviously this was when I so if you have iTunes, anybody who knows like elevation of iTunes, there's this part called podcast. And I always wonder, I always be looking at it, like, what the hell do they mean by podcasts? So back then I used to go online a lot just to look for new music. And I saw Hot 97 saying they have a podcast. And I subscribed. Then one day I just saw something playing on my iTunes. It was actually an interview of Angel Martinez with Kid Cudi. Okay. So that's what they used to do. They just put their interviews and they used to call it podcasts. The Federal magazine used to have like a DJ mix. They used to call it a podcast, so DJ mix. And that was the first time I heard of podcast. I was like, okay, cool, podcast. Then the first time I really encountered podcasts, this was Osage again.
Shout out to Osage.
You'll be watching this.
Osags.
So DJ Coffee, funny enough, shout out to Ferrari Gang,
Oshe.
2020.
She.
Yeah.
Daddy spoils us.
Yeah, Jollof Rice.
Oshe.
She was on a podcast called Brilliant Idiots, hosted by Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz.
Wow. This was when? 2011?
2014.
Wow, okay.
She was in New York, her first degree. She was a DJ there. She was attending Rock Nation and everything. And Charlemagne obviously was notoriously known around the world then. And they interviewed her. I think basically Charlemagne knew that her father was a billionaire. So I was looking for money. Baba, they look for money. They look for scope. I was like, I said, oh, DJ Copy is on this podcast with Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz. I didn't even know who the hell Andrew Schultz was. And I listened to it. I was like, yo, this is a funny podcast. These guys were real. So that's the first podcast I actually subscribed for. And I was watching it. And one day, I would say one day, so in the office, anybody who knows Pulse early in those days used to know that I, Osage, and Steve used to have like mini sessions in the office where
gang.
Something just it used to break out in the something about the music industry. And we just do like 10 minutes, we just be gisting. We'll start out with gisting, and the whole office will be looking like, oh, these guys are crazy. So one day we just said, let's make this into a podcast. So one day when we were finally like serious, let's make this into a podcast. Princess Abomore, shout out Princess of BBC.
Princess.
She came into the office. She used to work there. So she just looked at us and said, whatever you guys are doing, I want to be a part of it. She didn't even know.
No.
And that's how the List of podcast came about,
Amazing.
2016. And we had 4 or 3 amazing, I'll say, was it 2016 or 2015? I think it was 2016.
And I caught on in late 2016, early 2017.
So I think it was 2016 though. So we had like a mad run of 3 years.
A really
Some
mad
famous
run.
and infamous episodes.
Woof.
And what we found out that it created like an avenue for other people. So we are saying things that people wanted to listen to or people wanted to hear,
Yeah, very
but you
true.
can't find out on radio, you can't find out on TV.
It was straight talk.
Like some things we are saying, like bro, if
Definitely
anybody,
straight talk.
I don't know you guys, if you can get your hands on the early episodes, like the first 50 episodes, bruh,
Why are you doing like this?
they're the most non-PC stuff you ever hear in
True.
Nigeria. Like it was crazy. I started seeing other podcasts popping up. Obviously, we're not saying we're the first. I think there's
There were
another
people
guy.
doing it before you guys?
There are like 2 people. So there's this set of babes. I think they're called. I just got back. We just got back. So the funny thing is that we are supposed to even premiere the same day with them, but we lost that file. So we have to. So the first episode of Loose Talk is not the first episode of Loose Talk.
Actual first episode.
So they were like the first ahead of us. Then we started and we gained momentum. Obviously, then
Yeah.
others started coming up. I said what I said. Now I don't even know how many podcasts there
A
are.
whole lot. Everybody has Anchor these days. So
Yeah,
like,
which
there's
is
shit ton
necessary
of-
because
yeah,
a lot of young Nigerians need to talk, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to talk about.
get it off their chest.
They don't want to be like the typical or stereotypical Nollywood movie. They need to
Yeah.
get it off their chest.
And they don't want to be censored. Eh?
Yeah,
They don't want to be censored. at
yeah. And
all.
I remember some of the best interviews I had that didn't even blow, like the Bisi Alimi interview.
Yeah,
That was necessary.
I love that interview.
Yes, thank you. That was necessary for us to have. And some other interviews where we had Ayomide of Stare.
Oh yeah.
This was even before they have gone big, or before even the whole. This was just when the rape conversation was happening,
Yeah.
and we got her on. So those are the examples of of what podcast can do, the alternative voice.
Yeah.
It's not as big as it is in America now, where Spotify is fighting with Apple and Tidal is coming and
Yeah.
Amazon. All of them are like fighting. We are small. We try.
I like that you call it the alternative voice.
It is the alternative voice because the things we say there, you can't say it.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
You can't see. You see people talking about the Biafran war. Oh boy, did they Cheta say that on?
The genocide. Eh?
Cheta said that on terrestrial radio. They just call, please, play music, DJ, play music now. They shut that program down for like a while.
Wow.
So yeah, I think podcasts necessary also
To get the word out.
to get the word out because mainstream media as it is filled with press release and politics and
True.
horrible stories of like if you know Nigerian press, they feed off politics and Metro.
Yeah.
And
a
Metro
whole lot.
stories are the stories that will depress your life.
Completely.
You don't want to hear those stories.
What
But in
time?
between that, there are stories that nobody else, whether it could be music,
Just
it could be movies, pop
missing through
culture.
the cracks.
They're missing through the cracks, pop culture, and that's just it at the end of the day. So, like you said, now you have your own podcast.
Yeah. Now I'm co-hosting a podcast
Yeah.
with AOT2
Yeah.
called the 234 Essential. Which is
I
what
think
you're
we
on.
even need more podcasts. Like, I would love to see a Pidgin English podcast.
I think there should be. So interestingly, there's actually a community of podcasters.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to.
Yeah, I know, but I'd like to, because we need one to crack the mainstream and others will follow.
Yeah.
A Pidgin one won't be bad. Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo.
Different dialects, to be honest.
There was this TV show back then, Ikombe, that used to catalog all the super. Imagine you had a podcast like that.
Oh wow, that would be crazy.
People would tune in, and you need
That
a
would definitely be
no matter
crazy.
what, you need a football podcast. But you don't need
Yeah.
you don't need the intellectual football podcast. You need the
The crazies.
when you go to view centers,
Exactly.
those kind of people.
with a vest.
You need to carry those kind of people.
Exactly, into the studio to
And,
get them to
yeah,
speak.
and
I
that's
mean,
it.
it doesn't even have to be a studio anymore.
It doesn't need
really.
to studio. You can do it on your phone. People record podcasts on their phone now.
So I wanted to ask a question. Right?
Before we end, yes.
Before we end.
Before they kick us from this wonderful
Exactly,
studio.
because they're about to do that, you guys.
Yeah.
Let me hold this microphone.
They want to
So
go-
they won't send us away.
That microphone costs.
I will see. Why'd you say that?
Now 2 weeks they hold like that.
Mado, maybe I should actually carry.
Look at me to your head. Say please.
As
Please
much
for
as
2
I
weeks.
don't like, I'm not a fan of wigs. I know some people that would thank me. You know yourself. They would thank me if I steal this microphone. Actually said it. But like, do you feel like they're already clout chasers in the podcast space?
No.
Not
Because
yet.
it's still like such an unbroken territory that if you want to cloud chase, why are you cloud chasing? There's no point at the end of the day. It's that you become popular, you become infamous.
Yeah,
And I think
truly.
I have been on both sides of the spectrum.
Respect, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it.
Great.
All right, man. I think we're done. Shout out to Clout for hosting us.
Thank
Ugochi,
you. Thank you
AOT2
for
in the
coming,
building.
for allowing us be in your
Special
studio.
edition of
The 234 Essential.
podcast. Please follow us on all social media platforms and also any streaming platform of your choice.
Yeah.
We have mad episodes. And yeah, that's it.
I mean, someday I just found out I didn't actually talk about my experience with podcasting,
Go
but
on.
I think we'll say it on the 234 Essential.
Yeah, that's the part
Podcast
2.
Proper.
Our OnlyFans link.
Exactly, OnlyFans.
But we
So
don't show the-
subscribe so that I will tell you.
But we don't show nudity because we don't chase clout
We
on
might get
OnlyFans.
there.
No,
I'm trying
she
to
might get
encourage
there. She
Ayo
might
to
get there.
on
No,
TikTok because
no.
he needs a TikTok account.
I'm a
and OnlyFans.
typical Yoruba Ibadan man. Nudity is not in our lineage. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Are we out? Peace.
It's not. Bye, guys.